Welcome back, race fans. Again, this is the UltimateRacingNetwork.com. This is the GT3 series of 2015, now into round 4 at Monza. So we're going to have 20 minutes of qualifying right here with several different types of GT3 racing cars. And I'm going to be your host throughout the entire thing, Ryan McDowell, Siphon68. Joining me in the commentating booth for this session is Matt Tucker, PTG Mesosphere, and Martin Hall, F4H Trash. Say hello, guys.
Yo.
Greetings, everyone.
All right, so we've already been through 2 restarts. I think the first one was for lobby settings, and the second one there, I believe, was for lag outs. So hopefully we can get the servers to cooperate with us this week and get sort of a decent run of this. It would be unfortunate if we're sort of plagued with connection issues. This has happened to us once already in this season.
Yeah, this has happened at Hockenheim earlier on in the season, didn't it? Towards the end of last year. Server issues for Spawn by a week. And, yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's just one of those things that's completely out of our hands. We've got no control over it whatsoever.
Yeah, we've sort of got to deal with the cards that are dealt to us. Hopefully people stay connected this time and we'll see exactly what happens here. But we were talking earlier, a little bit of a talking point before this restart. We were talking about how the balance has sort of shifted for this season for the last 2 races. We just came off of Catalunya, which is arguably favors the grippier cars more than it does the cars with top speed, and so that would be on the grippier circuits that would favor cars like the Audi, the McLaren perhaps, and the BMW Z4 definitely, seeing as we had a BMW Z4 take the pole and win last time. And I think we're going to see that totally shift over to a balance of power to the Corvettes and the Bentleys.
Very much so. I think there's a fairly substantial difference in the top speeds. Although my telemetry there must have been reading something very wrong, because I'm trying to follow a Bentley then, and it was supposedly doing 130 on the main straight. I don't think that's quite right.
I think it'll be doing a bit more than that.
He might just be holding back for this lap, just to get some distance on the other drivers.
I'm not sure it's Roadrunner, and he's right at the front. So yes, I think I may have some lag to the server, if you see what I mean, so it's messing with my telemetry. I have to rely on you guys, I think, for information regarding speeds.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in with Roadrunner now.
That is currently who we're riding on board with, is GSR Roadrunner on the stream here. That's on twitch.tv/turnmedia. If you're watching this later on YouTube, definitely head over there and give it a follow, as all of our live action happens there. We do have our timing car running as well at the moment. That's over at twitch.tv/turn_official. So that'll be helping us out as we get into this qualifying session. They're currently on their first flying lap at the moment.
Yeah, it appears that we do have a lobby issue. I'm only getting 130 out of the Bentley as well.
Right, so not just my connection then. Because
No.
I'm telling you, the Bentley is doing a lot more than that down the straights.
Yeah.
He's coming out of the Parabolica now. He's already passed 138 for me. He's at 155, 160, 165 as he crosses the line, heading down into the first chicane. 172, 173, 175, 176, and hard on the brakes into the first chicane.
Right, whatever you're getting that telemetry from. Yeah, very different to what I was getting on my screen.
Yeah,
so
I'm
at
not
least we
seeing-
got one person with a good connection through to the telemetry, because I was really looking to see the comparison between the Bentley and the Corvette. I think that could be where the race is today. Again, I'd be interested to see what the the Z4s do, because I know they'll be slower on the straights, but they'll have so much traction out of the slower corners. They
Tell you
may
what,
be able to make up for quite a lot.
we'll switch over to LRT Stubbsy. We know he's in a Corvette. They are running special liveries for this Monza race. Fairly attractive black and gray liveries for this. We'll see if we can't figure out what kind of top speed he's hitting. We do have some initial times. We'll give those to you. They're sure to improve, but we've got GSR Roadrunner on provisional pole right now with a 147.937. LRT Lamb Chop in second at the moment with a 148.951, and just behind that, I'm framing the Z4 with a 148.972. So very consistent in that BMW, if not tapping out that top speed. LRT Sidewinder and LRT Stubbsy are in fourth and fifth at the moment. Again, these times are gonna improve, so I don't want to go too far down the list for times that we know we're just gonna trade right off there. So he's so we've got Stubbsy coming through the Parabolica right now. He's onto the main straight. Let's see what kind of speed he's doing as he crosses the line. 160, so he's 5 mile an hour down on the Bentley. That could be due to setup 172, 173, 174, 175, and heavy on the brakes. So just 1 mile an hour difference between the Bentley and the Corvette, at least for Stubbsy's setup. It looks like the Corvette actually pulls a little bit harder just from that difference of what speed they were doing when they crossed the line to where they were at the end of that straight. Could be a matter of draft as well. Well, I guess no draft because there's no collisions in qualifying.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Go on, Matt. No, carry on, Matt.
Yeah, I was going to say that bears out kind of what we saw at Hockenheim and other places, where the Corvette at the upper end would pull harder than the Bentley, but the Bentley has more coming out of corners, so it's probably coming off the Parabolica that bit faster, and thus getting that very quick surge, that 5 mile advantage then. But then the extra 10 to 15 towards the end of the straight that they're getting, it's obviously getting 5 miles an hour less, but still reaching a similar speed to the Corvette. Or at least against Stubbsy's setup of the Corvette around here. Might
Yeah,
be
because I
interesting to see
believe
some
that the LRT Breeze is getting 176 on his.
It could be, 1 mile an hour difference could come down to corner exit out of the Parabolica as well. We can certainly take a look. With that, LMR Ascari goes second quickest in the Bentley, and he's maybe tipped to be battling for pole position here. We know he is wildly quick.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the lap times now?
So we're looking at a 147.937 for provisional pole sitter GSR Roadrunner at the moment in his Bentley. LMR Ascari, again, like I said, goes second with a 148.111, but we know that he is certainly capable of faster than that, so we'll stay on that. LMR Hybrid has moved himself up into third in the Lamborghini, surprisingly. A 148.739 for him in the Lamborghini. LRT Sidewinder and LRT Lamb Chop are fourth and fifth at the moment, also in the 148s. And then I'm Frame just barely hanging on in the 148s, a 148.972 for him, a 10th down from both of the Corvettes from LRT Sidewinder and Lamb Chop. Surprising is LRT Breeze down in 16th with not really a clean lap yet. He's got a 2:14 on timing, but we know that's not real.
No, that would be his out lap from the grid. So yeah, he's not got a clean running yet.
Could be pressure. We've seen drivers do this. You know, that when they're practicing, it's easier to put a time up on the leaderboard, but then when it actually comes down to qualifying, people get put under pressure and they just can't get a clean lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus also, as he did a very slow out lap, so he's possibly now working his way through the field, and of course coming through everybody else's ghosts can often unsight you going around corners. Particularly going through chicanes, and there's plenty of chicanes here. So he may be having issues with just other trying to see the apexes, etc. to other people. I must say, actually, it is. I was so unused to seeing the Lamborghini that I'd almost forgotten that that one actually has a cracking top speed on it. So you might be curious to see that later on in the stream. But I know when we did the Nürburgring 12 hours, that thing was a monster down the main straight.
Yeah.
It was an absolute beast. So I'm curious to see what it does around here.
Real quick, 163 across the line there for LRT Breeze, 175 before braking, but he certainly could have been a 176 had he got a little bit of a better exit off of the Parabolica. So I think the car is certainly capable of hitting that 176, and remember that the Bentley of GSR Roadrunner only barely hit 176 before he had to slam on the brakes to get into that first chicane without putting it in the bin.
Yeah, it does seem like 175 is a magic number going down the main straight. Obviously, in race conditions, they're probably going to be using the tow to top 180 to try and get past each other going into that first chicane.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the Z4 drivers are going to have to look for, because that car does pull really well in draft, and it looks like they're going to need it on the straights.
So
they're only getting
real quick, just to
here.
interject, we've got LRT Breeze does go second quickest, so that's certainly of note there. He's a 148.083, so only 1/10 down on GSR Roadrunner. Splits the two Bentleys there. I apologize, Martin. Go ahead with your analysis there.
No, I was just saying the Z4. I believe they can only get 172. Out of it on the straight, so drafting for them is going to be important during the race.
I couldn't agree more, and we saw that even in Catalunya, how important the drafting was for those cars that didn't have the straight line speed. They really needed to stay tucked up close to somebody else to stand a chance against the Bentley and the Corvette on that front straight of Catalunya. Again, we're riding on board with LMR Hybrid right now in his Lamborghini. He's currently sitting fourth in qualifying with his 148.186, just a 10th behind LRT Breeze, as LMR Ascari goes quicker, and so does GSR Roadrunner. GSR Roadrunner right now commanding a 147.471 in his Bentley. LMR Ascari goes much quicker, but just not quite quick enough, a 147.506, so 0.03 of a second down from GSR Roadrunner is LMR Ascari.
People are starting to turn up the pace now. Everyone's now settled. Everyone's got those bank laps in already, and now they're starting to properly push.
Yeah, this is where drivers are willing to take a little bit more risk, you know, just to try and eke out that little bit more time.
We're going to stay on board with the Lamborghini here as he crosses the line for another lap and comes down into the first chicane. We'll see if we can't find out what his speed is. 163 across the line, so he's going to be down maybe a mile an hour or two into the first corner. 176 pretty easily for that Lamborghini, so I would argue that Lamborghini might actually be the fastest one here, but pulls really hard late in the range there.
That's the phase on the Nordschleife that made it impossible to hold you behind when we were doing the Nordschleife 12 hours. If we were behind you going onto that next straight, there was nothing anyone could do. Yes, you could keep us behind for about halfway along, and then it just pulled all the way past 190 miles an hour more. Has such top end. The difficulty with it is that without some really good tuning, it has incredible lift on oversteer. All the things.
Just with that, LMR Ascari then goes quickest with a 147.344, so snags it by a little bit more than a 10th over GSR Roadrunner and LRT Breeze.
I must admit, right now we're sat about right. Was low 47s, but you were saying possibly high to mid 46s. So it's going to be interesting if they get there.
Yeah, they're certainly gonna have to push a bit to make up another, couple of tenths here. I think they're already pushing pretty hard. We're currently on board with TLR Madara in his Audi. Probably not that favored here at Monza.
I think we must have. We had a disconnect because for some reason we seem to have a Lamborghini on my screen sat doing nothing just before Parabolic.
That would be F4H Xyloto. He locks in a 1 minute 49.378, so not terrible, but I'm sure he would have liked those extra laps to get in more time there.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he'll be quite disappointed because I think it's actually his teammate that's running up now is it 4th or 5th? High.
So he'll certainly have a bit to make up in the race there. There's just under 5 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, so the drivers are going to be really pouring on everything they possibly can here. They've got the laps in. This is where they can start to get a little bit risky. Now damage is on, so they're not going to want to do anything that could crash their car, but they're, getting a dirty lap here isn't going to hurt them.
No. At the end of the day, they've got the clean timing, so like you say, it's worth the risk.
163, 164 across the line for the Audi. Wow, he has really figured something out in the Audi. 177 from the Audi into turn 1. Holy cow. So this has really been, I did not expect that out of the Audi, a 177. Arguably that is the quickest car on track then, as far as top speed.
Yeah, the Audi is a pretty rapid car, but its downfall is it's really fuel hungry. You can't be running lap times like that all the time.
That's a shame. Really, you see it pushing up towards the front. Luckily, with the mandatory 2 stops that's being implemented from here on, it should at least be even on strategy during the race. Trying to look something up. No, never mind. What's the timing screenshot? Still 47.3s.
Currently riding on board with F4H Chris Supra, who was involved in that amazing battle at Catalunya that really entertained us for lap after lap after lap. We'll see if he can give us another battle that's quite that good here at Monza. He's currently sitting 12th at the moment. He knows that that BMW is not going to quite have the edge that the Corvettes, Bentleys, and perhaps even that Gallardo and the Audi have.
Just picking up some comments from the stream's chat. Balaji asking, is Alice our worst man in this quality lobby? Yes, he is, unless he's disconnected. He certainly is. He is currently
13th.
13th, yes.
Yeah, he's currently 13th. We'll switch the stream over to him. He's running also a refined livery for this event. Sort of a traditional BMW livery for this. I think we make this comment every time, but man, we have some really good painters in this series, don't we?
Oh, most definitely. Some seriously talented guys there.
Yeah, I can't disagree at all. The paints, pretty much any of the Bentleys, although they all seem to go with the Bentley green, so they all look very similar, even though I know they're painted by different artists, but Corvettes as well from the LRT boys, those are looking special.
Right then, so we've got less than a 1 minute period to go here in qualifying, and then they will be able to finish their final laps. Currently, we've got LMR Ascari on provisional pole with a 147.344. 1/10 behind that is GSR Roadrunner in the Bentley as well, a 147.471. And then LRT Breeze, a 147.849. That's actually pretty good for that Corvette. I think the Bentley was really going to be the car to beat here. LMR Hybrid, surprising a few with his Lamborghini, a 148.186. And just behind that in fifth, LRT Stubbsy in the Corvette with a 148.330. Then it's LRT Nath, LRT Sidewinder, and LRT Lamb Chop all the way down to 8th place there, with the slowest there being a 148.812. Still very rapid from them. I'm Frame, we know he's a beast. He's 9th. He's our race winner from last race. He's at a 148.972. And then it's TLR Madara in the Audi, a 148.996, just barely under that 149 mark. F4H Eggy, F4H Chris Supra are 11th and 12th. LSR Worstman is 13th. FAF Stone Stig 14th. F4H Nitro is 15th. FAF Helmet 16th with the 150.931. And we do have F4H Xyloto with that 149.378 locked in. So that would put him, let's see here, that should put him 13th in this lobby.
It looks like a few are just finished now. Don't think any of them have improved times, or certainly not improved positions. All the Bentleys have parked up.
I think lots of praise to be given here for the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming.
No way.
Yeah. Where hybrids obviously put a lot of work into that car. Because where that one came from, I'm not sure.
We've still got FAF Helmet still out there on track. Hopefully he can get around in the remaining couple of seconds here.
Yeah, if you just make it across the line, it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for that last lap.
Yeah, I think he realized that he doesn't have a chance of completing yet another lap, so goes off into the ditch there. All right, so we're gonna definitely have some really good racing ahead of us. Racing will start in about 30 minutes time. We'll see you then for this race. We'll have the top 20 drivers then competing for overall race win here. This is the Ultimate Racing Network Turn GT3 Series, Round 4 at Monza. We'll catch you then, guys.